What is up, guys? It's Brendan with Crypto Canadian. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to do a video on blockchain and cryptocurrency. It's an introduction video for people who are kind of new to the field. This is going to be great, and by the end of the video, you're going to have a great understanding and introduction to the technology behind blockchain and, more importantly, cryptocurrency. Hit that like button if you're excited to start learning, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about cryptocurrency and tutorials, educational videos, and stuff like that. It's a free way to support my channel that I'm starting to build here, and it's very much appreciated. So let's dive in. All right, so what is blockchain technology? We're going to touch on a few topics here today. What is a database? How does it relate to blockchain? How did the name originate? We're going to touch on decentralization, examples of blockchain. We're going to talk about the perks of cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology behind it, as well as fiat and inflation. So what is a database? A database is a collection of information that is stored electronically on a computer system. Makes data management easy and organized. Allows data to be manipulated. So an example of this would be a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet is a database wherein data is contained by workbooks of one or more worksheets. Within these worksheets, data is organized into columns and rows of cells. And within these cells, they contain different information stored within. So we said an example of a spreadsheet is a workbook with inside contains worksheets. So we're calling this a workbook. Inside are worksheets labeled numbers and columns and rows and also cells. So within each worksheet, there's a date and there's information. So transaction send 1000, Amazon, a time, a date. So this is a workbook with cells and rows of columns and worksheets inside. So this is just a good example of a database. Just a electronically way to store information, and it can be manipulated if need be, for example. With that in mind, what is blockchain? The blockchain is a public, decentralized database which stores authorless information securely using math and cryptography.
What?
Let's break this down. So public database, the blockchain is a public electronic database. So public meaning is accessible to anyone who has an internet connection. Decentralized is the part where the blockchain is controlled by several local people rather than one single entity. Like a central bank controls multiple little banks. The blockchain is controlled by several local people like me and you. It is alterless. Unlike a database, data stored on the blockchain cannot be altered or manipulated. It is there forever. Cryptography allows secure communication in the form of code in the presence of third parties, so this just makes transactions and things stored on the blockchain secure. So hopefully this makes a little more sense for you guys. It is a public database, so this means you need an internet connection. It is decentralized, so it's controlled by local people. It stores authorless information, so things on it cannot be changed or manipulated. And it is very secure because it uses cryptography. So why is it called blockchain? Blockchain collects information together in groups, also known as blocks. These blocks hold sets of information. Blocks have certain storage capacities, and when filled, are chained to the previously filled block. So forming a chain of data, otherwise known as a blockchain. So in this example, I have a photo here. These are 3 different blocks, and inside these blocks are transactions. So this is relative to cryptocurrency. So inside this block, there are transactions that are taking place. They are put into this block, and once filled, it will be chained to the previously filled block, and it'll start block 3. Filled transactions, chain to block 2, and so on and so forth, and they are forever visible on the blockchain. Okay, so how is blockchain decentralized? A network is created between nodes, or otherwise known as computers. These computers verify transactions taking place. These nodes communicate between one another independently, and they confirm these transactions and store them on the blockchain publicly and permanently. So in this case, there is no one entity in power or control. It is controlled by multiple people. So computers on the network are the ones that are in control. So instead of, for example, a central bank controlling the financial system, the way cryptocurrency works is there are these nodes all on the same network that independently process transactions and store them on the blockchain. So for example, I send my dad 1 Bitcoin. This computer will verify the transaction and how much was sent, and it'll be stored on the blockchain and be visible, and then that transaction will take place. And yeah, so here's an example of how that would work. So a transaction is requested and authenticated. So I'd be sending my dad 1 Bitcoin. So a block representing that transaction is created, and the block is sent to every node or participant, for example, in the network. So all these nodes are going to see this transaction is going to pop up, and the nodes will automatically, within the programming, verify and validate the transaction. So nodes receive a reward after they verify this transaction. So they'll see I sent my dad 1 Bitcoin. It'll verify that. So these nodes take care of the transaction system automatically using cryptography and code. And then they are rewarded for that work. So it's a self-sustaining system that has purpose. And it's by proof of work that people are rewarded and why the system stays decentralized. The block is then added to the existing blockchain. The update is distributed across the network, and then the transaction is complete, and my dad has the Bitcoin, for example. So I want to point out that nodes are participants or computers, also known as miners. So you might have heard that before. So these miners verify these transactions taking place and are rewarded for their work in the form of cryptocurrency. So here I have some examples of blockchain technology. International Business Machines, otherwise known as IBM, currently uses blockchain technology. Their use cases include distribution of vaccinations, like the COVID-19 vaccine. And once stored on the blockchain, these vaccinations can be traced from inception to injection. So this means it can be traced every step of the way, from the laboratory to the trucks that deliver them to the clinics, and then from the clinics to the general public or the customer that's receiving the vaccine. So this assures a level of trust with manufacturers, distributors, dispensers, and the general public. It also ensures quantity, quality, and authenticity. So that meaning the quantity of vaccines that were created and shipped to specific places can be tracked. It also ensures the quality, so through the manufacturers or laboratories that create the vaccine, they can be traced within the laboratory itself. Makes a very authentic product as well. So another example would be food trust. So this increases food safety and freshness, tracks food products every step of the way. This is very popular in China right now at this moment in manufacturing. It speeds up the process and demand for food product movement, from growers to the distributors to the retail stores to our kitchen counters. So blockchain technology can be applied to so many different industries nowadays, and it's becoming a lot more common. It's a very digital future, and it's a way to properly track things from their source, the directions they went, where they ended up. So if something does happen or goes wrong, it can be tracked all the way back. So this is very similar to the COVID vaccines. It's just an easy way for tracking that ensures speed as well, and efficiency and quality and transparency. So another example of blockchain would be cryptocurrency, which I think is the most important one. So this is where blockchain originated. Blockchain technology was created by the unknown person or persons behind Bitcoin that went by the fictitious name of Satoshi Nakamoto. So this cryptographic technology, combined with the use of digital currency, allowed transactions to operate without the need of a central authority. So by using blockchain, it was a way to transfer funds. This reduces transaction fees and implements decentralization, which is why it's mostly so attractive. There's a lot of extra costs and fees going through banks and also very slow transactions. Okay, so what are the perks of cryptocurrency? Transparency. So all transactions made on the blockchain remain on the blockchain and can be viewed publicly forever. So this allows for trust and tracking if need be. It is secure. So by the use of cryptographic hash functions, it provides protection and disables the possibility of manipulation. It is efficient. So because it runs as a decentralized system, there is no middleman, so this removes a step and increases speed, less chance of human error, and lower fees, which in turn means more profits. So quality, better user experience overall also. You're not dealing with stubborn banks that are hard to get a hold of. Other perks of cryptocurrency, you are your own banker. So you hold your own digital wallet and you are in control of incoming and outgoing transactions. What you hold, you own. So like banks, they will use your money that is stored in the bank as liquidity, and you actually technically do not hold it yourself. With cryptocurrency, what you hold in your digital wallet, you will always own. And which is a good example of decentralization. So here I just have a little photo. This is kind of how the banking system works. There's one middleman that everyone reports to. And then this one's just an example of a cryptocurrency world where people just deal with transactions between one another. So another perk of cryptocurrency that I'm very fond of is wealth transfer. So digital currency can allow immigrants to send money back to countries where social institutions are limited. So banks, for example, are not accessible to a lot of these people. So this allows people in poor foreign countries to have access to steady currency, as well as access to credit, resources, and essentially a better life. So all these people who live in poor countries cannot access currency, do not have currency because there's no banks nearby or anything like that. So I think cryptocurrency can really open up a world to a better life for everybody. With Elon Musk and Starlink, which is a worldwide satellite internet service, I believe that in the coming years, everywhere around the world will have access to internet. That's already becoming very widely used, and there is internet everywhere. But it'll become a lot more accessible, so that means these people will have access to currency in a decentralized manner, and I have high hopes for this. So another perk of cryptocurrency is easy transactions. So when doing business or dealing with brokers or legal representatives with regular currency, there are a lot of transaction fees you must pay each time there is a transaction. So these transactions are considerably time consuming and mostly only possible Monday to Friday. So with cryptocurrency, these transactions are extremely fast and low cost, as well as they're 24/7. So unlike banks, cryptocurrency is active 24/7. Another perk would be secure. Cryptocurrencies employ security measures to protect their integrity and security of the users. This also stops illegal activities because transactions can be easily tracked. Security measures are built into the code of operation as well. So what is wrong with the financial system in 2021, and why is cryptocurrency becoming so popular? Here we're going to touch on fiat currency for people who don't know what it means. So fiat currency is any legal currency that is not backed by a physical commodity, nor does the physical material it is made from have significant value. So for example, money today is made from paper. These currencies exist due to government decree, otherwise known as order, so government order. So hence the name fiat, which comes from the Latin word, it shall be. So fiat currency maintains its stability from the government and economy it belongs to, and also through the intelligent management of the money supply by central banks. So in this photo, you can kind of see breaks down central banks. So central banks conduct monetary policy, regulate smaller banks, and provide financial services like economic research. Goals include stabilizing the nation's currency, keeping unemployment low, and preventing inflation, which I think right now is an extreme problem due to the pandemic. Most are governed by a board made up of its members' banks. So all currencies today are fiat currencies. However, in previous centuries, most currencies were representative currencies. So this meant that they were backed by gold and silver. Each unit of currency represented an equal amount of gold or silver that was held by the central government. The government could only create as much currency as it had gold and silver in vaults. So let's touch on inflation a little bit here. Printing an insane amount of fiat currency that is not backed is what causes inflation. So with fall of the economy due to the pandemic, and the increase in supply of fiat comes the undeniable truth. So due to the government printing immense amount of money due to the pandemic and sending stimulus checks, this has caused a lower value of fiat currency, so things will start to go up, meaning that purchasing power is decreasing while the price of common goods increases. So common goods, for example, are things like bread, milk, eggs, gasoline, and electricity. So with this realization, I think that the decentralized currencies of the world, otherwise known as cryptocurrencies, are becoming a lot more popular, especially during this bull run. It is a digital era where cash is rarely used or accepted anywhere anyways, and the value of digital assets is becoming a lot more evident and clearly trumps government-controlled paper. Even institutions are starting to step in to the cryptocurrency and decentralized world. Could this be a change of times? Maybe a paradigm shift similar to the internet? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope you guys really learned something and enjoyed this video. If you did, a free way to support the channel is by giving it a thumbs up. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrency and more educational tutorials and things like that, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the bells to be alerted when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.